Well, the tank is removed. Overall, the process wasn't too bad. I used a moving dolly that was bigger than or as big as the tank. I strapped it to it, and then undid the bolts with the jack holding it up, and then just let it down. Had to take the cap off the gas tank, but other than that, it's the old tank is out right there. Put some water covered towels over the top of it just to keep it cooler. Can do some cleanup in here a little bit. It's pretty good actually. Did find one spot I'm gonna have to fix. Anytime you're under something like this, you should probably really inspect things. So I found that spot, not really underneath where the gas tank is, so I'll be able to do the gas tank now. And go back to that, which is good. I'm glad it's not up underneath here. All this stuff is pretty solid. I do have one dent to take out. Not sure what hit it or whatever, but it bugs me, and so I might as well fix it. Anyway, see you later. Just a little midpoint update. Things are going good. It's hot as shit again today. I think the forecast is for 95 at about 1 o'clock, which is half an hour from now. Anyway, it's going pretty good. Got the box cut out for the hole in the floor, and then also just the template in general for mounting the tank into the floor as part of the floor. I don't know that I'm going to do that right now. It is way more reinforced than the floor is, so putting some good metal, not that aluminum, but some strap or 16 gauge plate around the perimeter, and welded to the opening and then bolting the tank in would really make it a lot stronger, plain and simple. But I like the floor barrier between the tank and the car. There's no firewall back there to prevent bad shit from happening, in the worst case. So doing some getting ready to do the gauge conversion. I have Dolphin gauges, and this is Ford, so I have those little adapter guys that are going to varies the resistance so that your gauge works correctly in the different settings. But first, squirrel. I had some success with the dimple die, with the bigger one. So I've printed a small one. This is like 1/2 inch size hole of dimple, and it's supposed to be for fairly thick steel. We'll see. I like the idea. So far I'm really liking them. I wish this particular design had a hole through this, because I'm planning on making a dimple die holder, and it would be more convenient. So I might use a tool to put a hole in that and then print that piece again. That way it can like sit on a peg marked where it needs to be. All that was just because I was trying to run out my filament and use as much as I could. printed a couple of stupid things. But hey, that's what it is. That's what makes it fun. And like I said, squirrel! So here we are again. This is the dolphin adapter. You can get these on the internet. I got this one from Amazon. You can get them from their dolphin store too. So it's a pretty simple process. You need, some power. And I have this box that I put in, and I'm going to mount this box to this box because you're basically interrupting the line from your fuel gauge inside the cabin to the sender unit. So you're interrupting that and splicing this guy in between. So it makes sense. That way the resistance coming from the sending unit going to the gauge can be varied based on the position of the sender unit, being full or half empty and then completely empty. You can set those settings. You can also set hard numbers for your quarter tank and your 3/4 tank. I might try that. My main curiosity here is to make sure that I can, plug this stuff in, get the center unit configured, and then unplug everything and test it and make sure it works again without having to reset stuff. Because, once you put that into the tank, playing with the arm, is a matter of filling it up and emptying it out. And then how do you know where middle is, all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty sure that the resistance, they use the little variable guy that you can adjust to get your gauge to read correctly. I'm sure it remembers these settings, but I want to validate that. And then I'll mount it on top of the plate that sits right here. I'll steal some power off of a couple of these circuits that I'm not using. Like I don't use the fuel filter, or the fuel pump. I could pull it from there. The dome light. For whatever reason, I have one that says turn signal, and I don't know what I did. I must have used that for something. I spliced a long wire onto here to get it back here, and I have no idea what it is. I'll have to go and follow the wire up. I'll do that maybe when I put the carpet in. Anyway, that's a midpoint update. So, see you later. Hey folks, it's me again. Another update. Still not done. I'm feeling pretty good about it though. I did a lot. A couple things kind of surprised me, like always. It's always something that's going to get in your way or slow you down or whatever. What was it first? Made really good progress. Removed the tank. There's the old one. And had to set up the little gauge converter thing. Changes your ohms for your tank. Ohms for different sender / gauge configurations. I got this little unit by Dolphin. So there's a calibration process that you have to go through. You turn the key on with the buttons pressed and it goes into configure mode, and then you set the floats at a certain position. Use a little pot to change the resistance until the gauge starts matches with the one that you're doing. So you start with full tank. You have to turn it quite a bit actually to get it to move, but it moves up to the full sweep. and then you press the little button on it, and that saves that setting. And then you take the float and you move it to the half tank position and turn the little guy again counterclockwise until the float or the sweep on the gauge matches that halfway point. Hit the little halfway button and do the same thing for empty. And I had the help of Caddy watching the gauge for me and stuff, and we went through the process. We went through the process twice, because as soon as you do the save mode and then turn off the key and wait the 5 or 10 seconds it says, turn it back on, you're supposed to be able to cycle the sweeping action of the float to show different gauge settings, or fullness levels, and it's not doing that. So the configuration works fine, does everything it's supposed to do according to the instructions, except that sucks, because you fill in the tank and you put gas in it. Now it's really hard to do the sending unit sweep. So I don't know what I'll do on that one, but I need to move forward. So I have temporarily mounted the tank. I had to do some other stuff, like I had to mark and figure out the placement for the fill hole, for the fill tube to come up through, and the vent. I need to expand this a little bit, so I might do a little pie cut over here, and then just build the flange back up out and around this a little bit, like I did on this part here. This whole thing is going to be kind of enclosed like this over here to prevent stuff from hitting it, but there'll be a fill tube that's going to go from here to here, so there won't be too much stuff in the way. But this will be a good spot to block it off, I think, to kind of go around whatever. But looking at some of my parts and stuff that I carry with me, maybe the bottle jack could go there. I don't know. Looking at the revamping of how I store stuff in the trunk while I'm doing my trips. So I'll probably move my main toolbox over here, which I like. This one I don't get into as often, so it could tuck up out of the way. I do want to put in a bar, like a heavy duty bar to go from here to the other side here, and I'll have an anchor point that'll go up into here for shoulder straps for a seatbelt anchor. That'll all be really heavy duty, heavy walled square tubing, rectangular tubing, and it'll ride along the underside of the package tray to provide that anchor point. Anyway, then, so certain things can be in the way or there. That'd be good. So now I'll show you the tank. Looks pretty good. It's it fit really well. While I was under there, I cleaned the differential and gave it a little squirt. Yeah, the straps that I got for this, they're really good. They have a hinge kind that's it's made for a specific vehicle, so I don't have the hinge mounting point. But it doesn't matter, because I have to, when I drop the tank to fix that other piece, I'm going to put an anchor point here on this frame member, and then same thing over on this side. But it's, they're contoured for this tank, so it does the wraparound on the front, and it has the swivel point where a screw from the other strap kind of comes in, and that strap's really too long, which is good because it'll be able to be, you know, bent over and reinforced. But it's going to, they're going to anchor off the front of this rise portion of here. So probably like a carriage bolt or whatever, but I'll put a plate, reinforcement plate right there to just reinforce it, because these trunks, they're really thin. It's I didn't realize how thin their trunk material really was until you start messing with it. And so I'm going to reinforce that area where, like I did for the seatbelts, I did the exact same thing on seatbelts. Put like 14 gauge, you know, plate underneath where they were anchoring to the floor. I did that for the seats. I see no reason not to do that for the gas tank. Overall, I think it's, you know, it is what it is. The front part, I could tie my gas line right into this tank right now. Obviously it's not strapped up, so I'm not going to do that. But that part, yeah, I'm excited. It's ready to go. I'll be able to, you know, transfer the fuel out of the old tank into this one. Here's my funny area. I'm probably changing my mind a little bit on what I'm going to do funny wise. I was thinking USB port, you know, big giant one to come out of here and be like, you Studebaker charger. But I got thinking about it. I was like, well, they wouldn't have USB. They would have a good old-fashioned heavy-duty 2-prong plug. So I'm gonna make a giant 2-pronger and have that be able to be pulled out and say the same thing. I'm also kind of thinking about, it's like, have like little things, open me, and then they open the door and maybe like a rubber spider, you know. That would be pretty funny. I like that kind of stuff. Why not? You know, somebody gonna poke around and pull on your door anyway. You might as well give them a fucking scare. Oop, my bad. Said that again. Damn F word. I'm such a sailor. Anyway, it was hot today, but had my canopy. It got to like 96. In under here, it was 92. Out in the sun, it was 96. So, you know, helped. And then the wind has kicked in, and right now it's like 72 degrees. Feels great. Too bad I'm so tired that I couldn't do more work for it right now. It would be perfect. But anyway, that's my status. I guess that'll be part 4. I am definitely looking forward to getting it done. Put the straps on there. I got for Father's Day, I got me a set of brushes for doing pinstriping and lettering. So I'm going to practice it up, and I think I'm going to write out in some script. I got tanked and put that on the end of my gas tank. That's another funny. Anyway, that's what it is. I hope everybody's having a good day, and I'll see you later.